Hello everyone, today for this video I'll be talking about the EA and Ubisoft press conferences. I won't be getting into everything that they demoed, I'm just going to be covering the things that I was really excited about. But first off, I want to give a huge shout out to Monster Rehab, Tea, and Lemonade, and Energy. I'm really feeling it right now, and it's super delicious, better than any energy drink I've ever had. And I'm beginning to think drinking this right before doing this was probably not a good idea. But what the hell? Okay, so starting with EA, the first thing they showed off by Visceral Studios was Dead Space 3. And let's face it, if you like the other two, this one's going to be really fucking sweet. It looks more fast-paced. It's going to be more of the same, which in this case is a good thing. That game, especially 2, scared the shit out of me and had some really fucked up things that I would come to expect from survival horror games. And see, the second one was significantly harder than the first one, and I'm looking forward to facing another challenge in the third game. I mean, a whole planet of necromorphs, a frozen planet of necromorphs. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take that. And if it scares the shit out of me, then that means it's a good game. So I will definitely be looking forward to that. It's slated for February 2013, and what's really cool is going to feature drop in and out co-op. So maybe it won't be as scary with a friend or even more scary. I don't know. But I'm really looking forward to that and getting to play with some of my friends, see what they think about it and things like that. Then they did Madden 13, as always. They're promoting new physics engine and new features. I'll probably end up getting it just because I haven't picked up a Madden in a while, so. But nothing really spectacular there. They announced a new SimCity, SimCity Social for Facebook, new SimCity for the PC. I will say about the SimCity for the PC is that it's featuring multiplayer, which is a neat aspect. Pretty cool, getting to visit other cities and things like that, and doing challenges and that sort of thing. But it definitely looks more approachable for newer players to the franchise and anyone who's looking just to, I don't know, waste time building their own city. Or I won't say waste time, but everyone's got a fantasy of being able to run their own city, so I think it'll be more approachable for a bigger audience. Let's see here. They announced Battlefield Premium, which is basically the Call of Duty Elite system is subscription based. You pay $50 and you get like 70 or 80 bucks worth of content. That's cool if you're into that sort of thing. I stopped playing Battlefield 3 a long time ago. Really don't have any desire to go back to it. I guess I wouldn't really call myself a huge first-person shooter fan. Just enough to play with friends and things like that. Then BioWare came out, talked about Star Wars The Old Republic, some new patches coming out. You know, I've been playing it. I enjoyed the game, but it's definitely should have been a first-person game, not an MMO. But what are you going to do? And they're also announcing that starting in July, the game will be free to play up to level 15. So basically, after your intro planet as well, I think up to the point where you get your ship or right before it. So basically 2 planets, which will be cool to in terms of getting more people to get on the servers and maybe getting some people back into playing it. I know a lot of people left the game, which is unfortunate because I think it should have been given a chance. Well, I think it was given a fair chance, but really it should have just been a multiplayer game, or a single player game, sorry. Then Medal of Honor Warfighter was announced. Looks okay. I wasn't a huge fan of the other Medal of Honor, so we'll see. So then FIFA 13, UFC, Need for Speed, Crysis 3, all were announced to be expected. Meh. Now I was really, really excited for the Ubisoft presser, and I'll do this one a little bit more detailed than I did EA. But they started off with Just Dance 4, and the only thing I'll say about that is Flo Rida looked absolutely ridiculous. Just flat out ridiculous. I mean, he had gold bling sunglasses, he had a chain, a mic with this big ass gold emblem. I mean, it just looked, frankly, I think it looked retarded, but I mean, I guess that's where things are going in terms of rappers and shit. That sounded mean, but I just think it looked ridiculous. Anyway, they had Aisha Tyler as a host, which I think is actually a pretty good idea. She's really funny and she actually gets gaming and isn't too much of a gamer gamer girl, chicks who pose with their controllers instead of actually playing games or know anything about it. I think she's a legit gamer, and I think she was a good choice. With that being said, the freaking co-host in the back, some dude who's supposed to be a YouTuber, internet sensation, was really douchey and annoying as hell and retarded, and I really hated it. So I think they kind of treated it more like an award show than it was a press conference. And it's a novel idea, I guess, but really just one host is all you really needed. So getting into the games, Far Cry 3 was previewed. And first off, let me just get this out of the way because anyone who saw it will know exactly what I'm talking about. But boobs. But then they got into the game. I haven't played the other two Far Cry games, but it looks legit. This game may draw me in to actually play it. I know a couple of my friends have played it and really enjoyed them, so maybe I'll finally jump on the bandwagon and see what it's all about. They also mentioned visceral multiplayer, and just overall being the setting of an island to do all this other shit on is, I mean, I think that's cool. It gets it back to show off really awesome graphics and intense gameplay. One of the things that I was most excited for, though, and I mentioned this during the Microsoft video, was Splinter Cell Blacklist. Aisha Tyler mentioned something about getting lady boners, and well, I definitely got wood when this game was announced. It really does look legit. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the Splinter Cell franchise. I played it since game one. Chaos Theory is probably my favorite. Conviction was really good with the new mark and execute feature, and they're going to be bringing that back. They're bringing basically the Conviction engine back. And they also announced that there's going to be Spy vs. Mercs, which I really enjoyed. I played that a little bit in Pandora Tomorrow, as well as, was it Chaos Theory? Or, I forgot which Splinter Cell game where it was in, but that was fun too. Um, Unfortunately, no Michael Ironside. I did a little bit more reading into it, and I guess with the way that they shot the game, they actually had an actor do Sam Fisher in terms of movement, crouching, and things like that, and I guess they decided to use him for voice as well. And I don't know if that was the right way to go, as Michael Ironside's voice is very distinctive and is Sam Fisher, but who knows? Maybe he didn't want to do it, I don't know. But yeah, I think overall the game will be awesome, and I also talked about co-op, which I'm really excited for. Me and a good friend of mine played the shit out of Conviction, and that was really fun, so I'm glad that'll be making a return. And overall, it looked like Ubisoft is going to be a big time backer of the Wii U. They announced a lot of titles, a few during their press conference, a lot during the Nintendo press conference, which I'll get to later. But overall, I think Rayman Legends is something worth looking into. Origins was pretty fun. I didn't beat it, but it was a fun platformer. I think I'll probably have to go and just pick up the game overall. And there's different controls for different controller options. They showed off the tablet, and it looked like it was pretty responsive. Although I don't like the idea of just solely playing on the tablet when you have this device that's supposed to be fully HD, and you might have a really awesome HD LED TV or something like that. So we'll see how they address that. And let's see what else. Zombie U looked kind of cool. It had a surreal trailer, but there was no gameplay. But it's being pegged as a zombie survival horror game, and of course that's going to carry an M-rated rating. That was retarded. Anyway, it's going to be M-rated, and we'll see how that turns out. Hopefully, Nintendo doesn't drop the ball on that one, but then again, they might. So we'll see. But another big thing, everyone knew Assassin's Creed 3 was going to be talked about, and they showed off a significant chunk of gameplay. I mean, it's for the first time they're going into American history, and it should be exciting to see where they kind of take liberties with certain things. I mean, they already mentioned you'll be talking to George Washington. Who else did they mention? Ben Franklin, things like that. So I think that should be pretty cool. As far as the gameplay, when he was walking around on the ground in the snow, I mean, you can tell walking through deep snow slows you down, and there's going to be footprints, things like that. although I felt when he was climbing the trees, and I forget the character's name already, but the tree limbs felt a little forced. They didn't look natural. And at least in the context of the other games, some of the buildings with excessive handholds and stuff, I mean, it made sense in terms of the architecture and things like that, but the trees just feel forced. And well, I think the the open environment is a welcome change of pace. I don't know how much the unnatural look of the trees will distract me or distract from the game. Maybe they'll address that. But um, other than that, though, it's going to be worth playing. The combat looks great and possibly even faster. I think they might have improved the response times on counters and things like that. And being able to have an axe or a hatchet is pretty sweet. And being able to use the bayonet, muskets, and things like that will be very cool. Let's see here. Oh yeah, the environments look stunning. I mean, the cliffside, the fort, just everything they showed off looked great. So I don't think there's going to be any issue in terms of graphics. And I have to say, pretty much overall, across everything that I've seen for E3 this year, there's going to be a lot of stunning graphics for games. And I know that's not everything, but it certainly helps with immersion. Let's see, what else did they? Shoot Mania Storm. So that's Ubisoft's way of trying to break into the esport genre. And it's kind of cool because I started to get into esports, more specifically like StarCraft and things like that with Day 9 and StarCraft Husky and things like that. But this is like a shooter of some sort. Wasn't overly impressed with the game, but they did bring out some hot babe gamers that were Counter-Strike champs in Russia or something, and it was definitely fan service. But, you know, it is what it is. But finally, Watch Dogs. That's a game. I mean, I was grinning the whole time I saw that. It looks freaking awesome. The premise being is that a city is run and maintained by an AI, which frankly I don't think is too far off. I think that'd be the most efficient way to run cities in terms of traffic lights and, you know, all that good stuff and cameras. The city looks like it had beautiful immersive graphics. I mean, it's kind of like the mod that I saw for Grand Theft Auto. I mean, it looks so polished. I mean, you have wind effects, trash blowing through the air. The rain looked really good. The lighting was just spectacular, and I do like the subtle, like white. Um, how do you say it? Well, indicators. Indicators. That's what I was looking for. Showing what can be hacked and descriptions of like different NPCs when they talk on their cell phones and things like that. If you wanted to hack it or anything like that. So I really like this mysterious intrigue of being able to determine, you know, how to puzzle out how to get to where you want to go without being seen. And the game can be, at least from what I gathered from the video, the game can be as action-packed as you want it to be. But I'm assuming there's all the other options for you to be stealthy and more subtle, which I really look forward to. I mean, this from what they showed in the demo, the story is going to be very compelling, I think, and just flat out awesome. Just awesome. I mean, that whole last scene is like, I need you to send a message, and then blows the dude's brain out. I mean, that was really cool. And then you see him being tracked by the police, and then all of a sudden you see a couple of the characters playing. It kind of reminds me of, like, I think it's called Hacker Republic in the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo book series. Just a whole bunch of hackers maybe looking out for the city, or maybe looking to hurt the city. I don't know, but I think that might be kind of cool to see, and I'll definitely be looking out for more for this game. Kind of reminds me of maybe a little bit of Assassin's Creed or Grand Theft Auto type exploration, but more polished. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, that's my video for Ubisoft and EA. Look forward to my Sony one, and when I finally get a chance to watch the Nintendo one, I'll get that one posted too. Until then, see ya.